Action. Dober dan vsem, MTBC Live tokrat posnet zaradi tehničnih težav. Welcome everybody, this is MTB SI Live from Bled Bike Festival, recorded this time, and with me here is one of the sports legends, if I can say so, Uli Stanciu. He's German, but we'll do it in English, right?
Right.
And we are at Bled Bike Festival, the picture postcard view behind there, with the island and the church and a little bit of expo. There's a tent on the pier, and there's some cyclists around, but also a lot of people just enjoying the lake. Uli was the first editor of the bike magazine in Germany since 1989. The father of Bike Festival, Garda in Willingen. The father of Transalp, also the Transalp Slovenia, and also a member of Mountain Bike Hall of Fame. So the first MTB Hall of Fame member on MTB SI Live. Uli, how do you like it so far? The Bled Bike Festival, second day, tomorrow's the big day for the marathon race. What do you see around you?
I like it very much. And of course, it's not as big as the Bike Festival at Lekada anymore, but it's the first time. It's a beautiful place right on the beach of the lake, so I like it very much. And well, I wish that the whole thing grows in the next years up to maybe 50 or even more exhibitors, and of course some more visitors.
We had a little debate this morning. The bike brunch you represented some numbers from Bike Magazine survey. It will be out in October issue, as I understand. Thereabouts.
It's just made for our advertising clients, so that they know about the German bicycle market, or the bicycle market of the German-speaking countries. And of course, we do a survey also on tourism, and this is the interesting data for the people in Slovenia. May I say something about that?
Sure, just a couple of numbers.
Okay, so first of all, we have around 7.2 million sportive and engaged bikers in Germany, of which about 3.5 million are road racing cyclists and 3.7 million are mountain bikers, and now the big growing group of the e-mountain bikers with electric. Of those are about 8 years younger than the average of the population. So the mountain bikers have, in the average, 40 years old. The e-bikers, in the average, 48 years old. So those are a little older people. 60% of all these bikers are doing a bicycle holiday every year. Bicycle holiday does not mean that they have a bicycle with us to go to the bakery. They have a bicycle with them just to do bicycle tours. And so this is a very, very big market. And of course we have other numbers, like most of these people go into their bicycle holiday in a car. Most of them take a 3-star or 4-star hotel. Most of them are pretty rich. Let us say the free available income, free available money per month in the average in Germany is about 390 euros. Bikers have 1,150 and e-bikers even 1,300 euros free available money. That means they can really spend it.
The play money.
The play money, right. And so this is numbers very important for tourism, and that's why, out of my view, Slovenia should really go for the new bicycle tourism, which is coming with our project Trans-Slovenia now every year more and more.
An interesting top 10 ranking of the countries where the Germans are spending their bike holidays?
Yes, number 1 is Germany, of course, in land. Then number 2 is Italy. Number 3 is Austria. Then coming Switzerland. And on number 7 is now Slovenia.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. 3 years ago, Slovenia was not existing in bicycle tourism. Now that we started our our Translovenia project, at least on place 7. So it's 1.5% of our bicycle tourists who are coming to Slovenia.
Who is on 8th place?
I think it's Spain.
Okay. It's a good competition.
Yeah, it's a good competition because Slovenia is much smaller than Austria.
You've been riding here a lot. You also put together the Trans-Slovenia routes. What's your favorite riding place in Slovenia?
Oh, that's hard to say.
No.
Because the arguments that I'm bringing for Slovenia is that landscape is changing every day. Then when we do Trans-Slovenia from, let us say, starting in Villach, going down to Piran, here in the region east of Bled, in the Kranjska Gora, you have the Julian Alps, you have the Triglav National Park, you have Dolomite kind mountains. Then you come down to kind of near Kovarit, kind of Black Forest, mountains, Matajur and so on. Then you go down to Brda, and there you have like Toscana. Then you go down to Karst, which is completely different, and then you end up at the sea. So every day of your Trans-Slovenia have a completely different landscape, and I like them all.
So what's happening with Trans-Slovenia? You put together the tracks, you put together the ebook. How many copies of ebook have been downloaded so far?
It should be around, not only ebook, we have also a printed version.
Okay.
But both together should be around 1,500 now. It's not great numbers, but it's good enough. And we give a good description of every stage. We give the photos, we give the altitude profiles, and of course we offer also the GPS data.
Of course, more people are riding with one copy of
Oh
book.
yes, okay. You can say in the average, it's 3 people riding with one set of data. That means that every year, this year, I guess it would be around 4,000 to 5,000 people coming to Slovenia for a bicycle.
You've been around since day one, since e-bikes started, and you're riding them. You understand how it works, how people start riding e-bikes. And I'm still a skeptic. Tell me why I should try it.
Okay, I tell you what happens with a skeptic like you when you try out the first time a real good e-mountain bike.
Yeah.
After 30 seconds, you say, oh, it's not so bad. After 3 minutes uphill, you have a big grin on your face. And after 30 minutes, you will ask me, where can I buy one?
Okay.
It's always the same. It's not that you use really less power. It's just that you're faster up. And I know a lot of cyclists, myself included, a few years ago. I was pedaling with the same force like ever. But now you have the wind on you also going uphill. And it gives you a greater circle to go down. You can adjust the force you give it to the bicycle. If you are tired, you just take the motor 1 gear up and it helps you some more. So the possibilities, the freedom on the e-bike is just bigger. And that's why this year the manufacturers and the dealers tell me in Germany about half of the market is e-bike, e-mountain.
What I'm concerned about, are they fun on the downhill? Some say they are, some say they're
even
not.
bigger. It's even bigger. People say, okay, how is it downhill with a bike which is heavier? Now the e-bikes have around 20 kilos. But you will find out that the bike keeps on the ground much better. It has more grip, more traction. So it's a little bit, the enduro feeling you can have, like downhill bikers have downhill bikes with about 18 to 20 kilos. So you have this feeling of a downhiller. It is, in my view, better in any respect.
Okay.
It's more fun. It's just more fun.
I will try soon.
Yes, and you will ride more.
Okay.
Your decision to ride today, sometimes you say, I'm feeling a little tired, or I just have 1 hour time. With the e-bike, no problem, because if you're a little bit more tired, then e-bike is
But
helping you.
1 hour is 1 hour.
Yeah, 1 hour, but you can do a tour which you
Okay.
need usually 2 hours.
Okay.
Now do it in 1 hour.
So that's the
Any
secret
argument.
of success, squeezing more things into little time.
This is our world today. You know,
Okay.
people have always less time.
Uli, thank you for coming to the festival. Thank you for joining me for the interview. We do this for photo. Thumbs up.
Okay.
Okay. We have a little bit of Gegenlicht, but they saw us, they heard us. And thank you, and hopefully we'll have you back in Slovenia soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.